Hi guys, it's Mick here from the My Performance Health Physique and Performance Institute, and today we have a special one for you as I take Dana, a bikini competitor, through her workout as we're in preparation for IFBB Pro League. Now Dana has competed a few times with ICN and has done quite well in that federation, and this will be her debut for IFBB Pro League coming to the end of the year. We are currently in a recomposition building phase, so she has plenty of food. We build up to maintenance. We're building a lot of muscle and trying to maintain our body composition, not letting our body fat get out of control, so we can start a cut as we're around 21 weeks out from competition. So guys, sit back, enjoy as we run through her workout today. Now what we're doing to start off the session is just getting our calipers to work out our skin folds. This will help set expectations up of where we need to be in terms of where we're going to start our cut from, to make sure we can manage expectations coming into the competition so Dana can bring her best coming into the stage. Now what we're doing here as well is that we're grabbing an infrared scan, which is going to help our circumferences. So this is going to be an accurate way to get circumferences around Dana's body. And what this helps with, once again, is managing expectations of there's a certain ratio that we want between the shoulders and the waist for bikini, and also the glutes and the waist. And also symmetry between the whole body, like certain sizes that we want with our quads, once again, our glutes, our hips. That way it'll help our decision making with our exercise program and nutrition to see if changes are working or not working, and then make adjustments as we need. What we're going to start with is a warm-up. All right, we're going to make sure we're going to stretch the muscles like our psoas, make sure the hips aren't going to be obstructing in the way. We're going to activate your blood flow to the glutes as well. So what we're actually going to do is, for Dana, a high frequency workout. That's the plan she has at the moment. I want you to think of it more as sculpting for the physique itself. So for Dana, she has, with the opportunity for Dana to improve is that we actually don't do as much direct quad work, because she does have more overpowering quads. So our goal is to get the quad shorter, develop the glutes nice and 3D, waist in as well. So the exercise selection we use, she actually doesn't do that much direct knee flexion work or direct quad work, so we can actually bring that in a little bit more, and once again bring a more competitive package suited to the bikini class. Okay, so that's the type of exercise selection we're using, is what she needs to sculpt the physique to suit that IFBB Pro League look, which the judges are ultimately looking for. So let's get into the warm-up now. What I want you to do is you're going to open up hip flexors. So you'll be here. I want you to come down. Okay, drive hips forward and hands above head and lean back. All right, see how you go with that position. Yep, come on down. Yeah, it's going to be a long drop for Dana. All right, from here, squeeze your glute forward, and yeah, you feel it. Hands up. Drive forward, drive that knee forward a little bit more, and hold. 3, 4, 15 seconds, 6, 7. Now what we're doing here is opening up the psoas and like your hips, and Dana's really feeling it uncomfortably right now, right? Now, Dana's a superstar that is short in nature, so this is a pretty big drop for her with a leg position. But we want to make sure we get a good stretch. So once again, the hips, the psoas aren't inhibiting us when we're trying to hit our glutes. Now switch it over, Dana, here. So we're just going to do a nice psoas stretch before we get into our activation drills. Okay, squeeze your glute forward, open up that hip, hand stretched. Hold. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. More forward. 11, 13. 16, 17, 19, 20. Good, well done. Rest, jump on up. And now we're going to get into activation. So good. Now the next part of the warm-up before we get in the workout is going to be hitting some clamps to really fire up the glute med. So come on down into a clamp position, Dana. Now shoulder's going to go into ear. Now from this position, there's different ways to do a clam. Fingertips on the mat for me. Foot position, I want you to go lower. Right here. Hips pointed directly, laser focused to the ground. We want to feel a good contraction on the glute as we slowly raise that up. Now, what we don't want to see is too much rib flare, like the ribs flaring out. Do about a set of 25, Dana. 3, 4, 5, 6. So small contraction, small range of motion, but keeping that tension in the glute Once again, to really get better mobility throughout the session, and then also to really make sure that we can activate it and get the most out of the workout itself. 6, keep going, keep going. 5 more. 4, 3, 2, 1. Good. Now, we're going to go onto the other side. Same deal. Now, the next one we're going to do is fire it up in extension a little bit more as well and hit that glute max. Hands underneath your hips for me. Head down. We're going to do unilateral, so one leg at a time, and we'll do this in knee flexion. Now, I want you to push this foot up in the air for me, and as you do so, drive your hips hard against your hands. Okay, come up and down, rep it out, 25 reps. 5, 6, 7, 8, 10. So once again, a good warm-up exercise to get the glutes fired up. This one more so in extension. Good, 5 more. 4, 3, 2, 1. And now what we're going to do is really activate and fire up the glutes, warm them up before we get into our working sets. Shoulders deep, press down, chest tall. That's it. Small steps and keep the tension on the band. Don't go all the way in. I want to keep that tension on. So come back this way. Better. Smaller steps in. Keep going. Keep going. Keep going. All right, now we're going to do this in a circuit fashion. Come to the end here. I want you to do hip extensions off here. Might be too high, right? Hip extensions, all I want you to do. Bridge off the top. All right, let's go. Thighs out and drive up. 2. Now, I want you to drive up higher. Good, and as you can see in this position, go down and up. Once again, firing it up in extension, chin down. Knees only go 20 degrees or 30 degrees back. So go back, come down, come down, come down. Now come up. Good, keep chin forward. Think of your head being ripped up to the ceiling. Keep going. Okay, now coming back, we're going to do some abduction. Good, hands together. Good, and let's go. Thighs out. Boom. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. 5 more. 4, 3, 2, 1. That's it. Rest. Okay, so the first exercise we're going to do for Dana's workout today is the CAS hip thrust. Now, like I said, we want to prioritize the body parts that we need to bring up for competition and focus on. So that's the way we piece the exercise selection. Once again, think of it as sculpting to physique, and rather than just, typical bodybuilding kind of split. It's very important for any class of physique competition. So we're going to dive into that. Now, with the CAS hip thrust itself, think of it as a shorter range hip thrust, basically, like the traditional hip thrust. And the goal here is to keep tension on the glutes the whole amount of time in the shortened position. So as Dana sets up here, she's going to pull the bar back. Same setup as a traditional hip thrust. Feet in a position, sorting her hair out. Yeah. All right, let's come into it. And you'll notice here too, as Dana goes down, it's a very short range. Chin tucked forward, thinking the head pulled up to the ceiling. Really holding the contraction up the top. And you'll see the knees here, if she comes up in extension, they're only dropping, 20 to 30 degrees away from my hand. So keeping that tension on the glutes the whole time. Okay, go on, Dana. 5 more reps. 4 more. 3, 2, 1 more. Good, that's it. Good, rest. As Dana catches her breath, we'll cover, as you'll notice too, she's actually wearing a waist trainer while she's training. Now there are mixed opinions on this, however, if we can always gain 1% and bring our best to this stage, and always look at what the best is doing as well, we want to do, whatever we can to make sure we get the most out of the return on investment of time we're spending in the gym, and once again, bringing the best package we can. So we are going with the waist trainer while training for now, and then we will start wearing it outside training as well, with the thought process of getting that waist coming in a little bit more, once again, to create that X frame for bikini, which the judges are really looking for, okay? So that's why we're wearing that while training today. And like I said, we will start to taper that up outside training coming into competition. All right, now what we have here is the dumbbell Romanian deadlift. Now we're not doing a stiff leg deadlift. We are going to do it so it can still get tension on the hamstrings as well, because we want to hit that posterior chain. So feet are underneath Dana's shoulders here, shoulders depressed down to get like our back on and make sure that's stabilized throughout the movement. We're going to engage with the hips. Well, we soften knees, then engage in the hips. Hips are going to move back. Shins and knees, we want to be nice and vertical. As you can see, Dana just putting them back nicely there. Coming back up. Good, and what we don't want to see is any rounding in the back. So go through the reps, Dana. We're going to do 8 reps here. Shins and knees back, pull those hamstrings on to number 3. Now to start, Dana is short. And with this specific exercise, we have to sometimes manipulate it so she can get the most out of it, as the height will dictate obviously where the pads here, where they can go. And we also want the hips to be, you know, a good amount of spacing off the hips and the pads so we can actually get the hinge and actually make sure we're not just rounding the back through the whole movement. So sometimes you may have a bench where you need to adjust a little bit more, or get better foot placing, or put something underneath like wedges to push you up a little bit more. But what we are going to do is show how we're doing the 45 back extension here to bias more the glutes in the shortened position. Now, a good tip here as well is we want the pads down so our hips are off. Okay, so once again, we can hinge as we're coming down. To bias more the glutes, we want to work the range of the glutes, keep tension on there, okay? Now, something that may happen with the back extension is that we hit more into the lower back, more than the posterior chain up top, if we come and go off that lumbar too much. Now, a good tip here is putting fingertips underneath our glute fold at the back, coming down, all right? Now, the range of motion will be a little bit shorter. All right, come on back up. And as you come back up, you drive your glutes onto your hands and think of them pushing down your hamstrings to the back of the machine here. So come on down, come back up, shorten the glutes, drive them back on the hamstrings. What we don't want to do if we're trying to bias the glutes a little bit more is get that lower back all the way back up, because that's where the tension is going to be on the erectors at the back. So if we want to bias it more in the glute shortened position, come on down, a shorter range of motion, come back up, drive your glutes onto your hands, pushing them backwards, okay? Come on down again. Now, as you get better and you don't need to cue the glutes as much, you can bring your hands forward and run through the back extension as normal. So come on down, come back up, really squeeze and hold the glutes. Good, and it's a great exercise for, once again, stimulating the glutes in the shortened position. Keep going. Good, and 3 more reps. Good, not as much range down, 2 more. Good, and 1 more. That's it, rest. Good. Thanks guys for tuning in to today's workout. As like I said, we're in a recomposition phase, 20 odd weeks out from competition for Dana's debut in the IFBB Pro League stage. Now, Dana, with a workout, specifically when we're talking about bikini preparation and bikini sculpting, what would be one of your top tips to give to those that are interested in bikini competition?
I think for something I've learned recently is when you're doing a bikini competition, it's not always about lifting the heaviest, it's not always going in the gym, trying to get like a PB constantly. It's actually about feeling the movement, getting that contraction, and making sure you're hitting the muscles that you need to hit.
Yep, so basically, like I touched on before, we want to sculpt a physique, and to do so, you need to make sure that your exercise execution is keeping that tension on the muscles that you want to sculpt and bring up. And that way you'll get the most out of your training and obviously develop the physique that is appealing to the bikini class. So guys, thanks for tuning in. If you need or are interested in any coaching questions, inquiries, you can go to our website, www.mindperformancehealth.com.au, and don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more content on all things physique transformation, competition preparation. This is what we do. So thanks guys for tuning in. I hope you have a great day and all the best.
Can I just add something?
Oh God.
Can I just add? If you would like to see me run Michael through a workout and smash him, then please comment down below.
Luckily, I'm about a year and a half out from competition, so I'll be able to recover by then.
Yeah, good. So we'll be lifting extra heavy.
Extra heavy.